The scene shifts to Musashi alone interacting with modern technology. He lights a lighter and is amazed. Fire appears instantly with just a flick, something unimaginable in his time. Even something so simple feels extraordinary to him. Then he creates a paste using charcoal and oil and applies it to the cut on his face. This is an old battlefield method of treatment, and just like that, he calmly says it will heal. Then Tokugawa enters. He tells Musashi he has something important to discuss, and the scene immediately shifts to the underground arena. Tokugawa announces a match will take place in 3 days, at night, right here in the arena. Then he reveals the opponent Kaioh Retsu. He introduces Retsu as a representative of Chinese martial arts from the land of the Ming Dynasty. But the biggest twist comes next. Normally, the arena has one strict rule: no weapons allowed. But this time, that rule is broken. Weapons are officially allowed in the fight. Musashi then confirms, "It was you who requested this change, wasn't it?" And Retsu calmly admits it. His reason is clear: he wants a decisive fight, a true battle where everything is allowed. Then he explains something very important. Musashi is strong even without swords, but his true identity, his true peak, is as a swordsman. So if Retsu fought him barehanded and won, it would feel meaningless. That's why he chooses the harder path. He will fight Musashi at his strongest with swords. Musashi finds this interesting, even amusing. Retsu then admits honestly, in a hand-to-hand fight he might win or he might lose, but that's not the point. The point is to face Musashi at full power. At that moment, something intense happens. Retsu senses a violent aura coming from Musashi, a killing intent so strong it feels real. Without hesitation, Musashi steps forward. Retsu instantly reacts and launches a kick. Musashi catches the first kick. Retsu follows up with a second kick, and this time, even as Musashi tries to stop him with grip and pressure, the kick lands clean on Musashi's face. Musashi is knocked back. Tokugawa is shocked. From his perspective, it looks like Retsu attacked unfairly before the fight even began. But Retsu calmly explains he felt Musashi's killing intent first. To him, the fight had already started. Before leaving, Retsu says next time he'll wear a stronger leg for the match. Musashi smiles. He doesn't get angry. Instead, he finds Retsu interesting, even likable. He calls him an earnest warrior. Later, we see Motobe visiting Tokugawa. Right from the start, Motobe makes one thing clear: he doesn't need any explanation. After watching the footage, he already knows the truth: Musashi is the real deal. Then the conversation turns to the upcoming fight between Musashi and Retsu Kaioh. Tokugawa confirms something shocking again: weapons are officially allowed in the match, and it was Retsu himself who requested it. But Motobe's reaction is completely different from everyone else. Instead of excitement, he becomes serious. He even says something extreme: if weapons are allowed, Retsu might as well bring a machine gun. Motobe then criticizes Tokugawa directly. He says people like Tokugawa, who love martial arts as spectators, don't truly understand real combat. According to him, they admire strength, they organize fights, but they don't grasp real danger. Then he drops the most important line: Musashi is a monster among monsters. Not just strong, not just skilled, but something far beyond what modern fighters are used to. Tokugawa pushes back, defending Retsu. He explains that this decision fits Retsu's personality perfectly. If Retsu finds a strong opponent, he must fight them even if it costs him his life. That's just who he is. Motobe understands that, but he's still concerned. Because this isn't just another strong fighter. This is Miyamoto Musashi, a man from an era where fights meant death, not victory. Then the conversation takes a surprising turn. Tokugawa asks Motobe if he also wants to fight Musashi. Motobe answers yes, but not for the usual reason, not for pride, not for challenge, but for something completely different: to protect others. Motobe explains, Musashi isn't just a swordsman. Back in his time, samurai mastered everything: swords, spears, bows, naginata, shuriken, even rope and mounted combat. Musashi can handle any weapon, any situation. And then Motobe makes a bold claim: he has also mastered all those arts, something that even yujiro hanma cannot say. So in his mind, he is the only one who can truly deal with Musashi, not just fight him but protect everyone else from him. Then, we see Retsu training intensely using weapons like a kunai and sword against a wooden dummy. His movements are sharp, precise, and controlled. Every strike is clean, showing that he's fully embracing the idea of fighting with weapons. Watching him is his master, Retsu Kaioh. Kaku praises him, saying he hasn't lost his edge at all. In fact, his weapon skills are still improving. After that, Retsu tests himself against students at the Shinshinkai dojo. One of the students attacks him repeatedly with full force. But something strange happens. Even though the student clearly lands hits, Retsu doesn't move at all. Everyone is shocked. They can't understand it. He has a big, solid body. But somehow he feels light as a feather. Then, without effort, Retsu ends the fight with a single punch, instantly knocking the student down. After this, Kaku explains to everyone what's happening. He introduces a concept called Zaioli Shaoli. First, he reminds them of basic training, strengthening bones, toughening muscles, hardening the skin. This creates a body like a wall, able to block attacks. But then he says, that's not true mastery. Zaioli is something completely different. Instead of becoming hard like a wall, you become soft and light like a feather. Kaku explains them something very important. Every human body has hidden tension. Even when you think you're relaxed, your muscles, bones, and tendons still carry stiffness deep inside. To master Zaioli, that tension must be completely removed. The process goes step by step. First, the stiffness disappears, then the body becomes soft and flexible, then fragile like paper, and finally light as a feather. At that level, something unbelievable happens. The body no longer acts like a wall. Instead of resisting force, attacks don't properly connect. Force passes through. Even things like wind, bullets, or blades become ineffective. To demonstrate, Kaku uses a feather. He swings a sword at it and explains that even a sharp blade can't properly cut something that moves and flows perfectly with it. He also makes an important point. Using two weapons isn't unique to Miyamoto Musashi. China has its own deep weapon traditions too. Then Kaku shows Chinese swordsmanship. Watching this, Katsumi Orachi notices a big difference. Japanese swordsmanship, right arrow simple, calm, focused on one decisive strike. Chinese swordsmanship, right arrow fluid, fast, full of movement and rhythm. Kaku summarizes the philosophy: attack sharply but defend gracefully. He gives a classic image to explain it: a crane versus a snake. The snake strikes aggressively. The crane avoids every attack with smooth, elegant movement. Eventually, the crane wins through control and timing. But then Kaku admits a major problem. That idea works in unarmed combat, but against a sword, even the most graceful movement can still be cut down. So he pushes the concept further. He tells Retsu, become like a bottle gourd swaying naturally, move together with the opponent's attack, don't resist, flow with it, become a feather. The goal is simple but extremely difficult. If Retsu can move perfectly in sync with Musashi's blade, then even Musashi won't be able to cut him. Retsu accepts this without hesitation. I'm ready. Meanwhile, Musashi is with Tokugawa. Musashi stands still, almost like a painting, then suddenly a leaf falls. In an instant, Musashi draws his sword and slices it into 4 pieces midair. Afterward, he calmly says, just barely satisfactory. Back at Shinshinkai, things get intense. Retsu is now covered in cuts and exhausted. Even Katsumi is shocked. He understands the idea of becoming a feather, but seeing the process is disturbing. Retsu is literally getting cut while learning. Katsumi even questions, should this even be allowed? But Kaku doesn't hesitate. This is necessary. He orders Retsu to stand again. Then he swings a real sword directly at Retsu's body. Before, this would have cut him. But now Retsu doesn't resist. He moves with the blade. He absorbs the motion like flowing air, and this time, he doesn't get cut. It's a huge breakthrough. Kaku points out how fast Retsu improved. First attempt failed, second better, third even better, fourth success. The blade doesn't cut him. In just a few tries, Retsu achieved something incredibly advanced. Kaku praises him proudly. Witness the Sea King, the man who became a feather. He explains the final idea again. Don't fight the attack, don't resist the blade, flow with it completely. Hands and feet become the breeze. The body becomes the wind, and then he confirms it. Retsu has mastered Zaioli. Then, suddenly, Motobe walks in, and unlike Kaku, he is not impressed. He immediately questions Retsu. "You're planning to use that against Musashi?" Then he says something harsh. 4,000 years of Chinese history, and that's the best you've got. On the other side, Tokugawa watches in shock as Musashi casually cuts anything that falls from the air. Leaves fall instantly sliced. Then even a feather falls, Musashi cuts it just as easily. This is extremely important because Retsu's entire strategy was become a feather so you can't be cut. But Musashi just proved even a feather can be cut. Tokugawa, still amazed, grabs Musashi's sword and notices. It's long, it's heavy, yet Musashi draws and swings it effortlessly. So he asks if there's some trick. Musashi explains the secret. It's not about the hands, it's all about the hips. Draw from the hips, slash from the hips, one clean, straight motion. If you can't do that, you'll be too slow and you'll lose. Back at the dojo, Motobe confronts Retsu directly. He doesn't hold back at all. "Do you really think that technique is enough?" He calls Zaioli basically a trick, something that won't work on a real master like Musashi. Kaku defends Retsu. He confidently says he tested Retsu himself. He approved his mastery of Zaioli, but Motobe shuts that down immediately. He explains something deeper. Kaku doesn't understand true battlefield combat because he comes from a different tradition. Motobe explains the key difference. Old era, Musashi's time, every fight equals life or death, someone always dies. Modern martial arts, you can lose and still live, you can fight again. Because of that, modern techniques are incomplete. They've lost the original kill or be killed reality. Then Motobe drops the harsh truth. Even if Retsu uses Zaioli, it won't matter because Musashi can cut anything. Hard as iron, light as a feather. Then he gives a brutal warning. Even with a weapon, Retsu might lose. Even with a machine gun, he might still lose. At this point, Retsu doesn't argue. He calmly accepts it and asks, "Then what should I do?" Motobe gives his answer, "Withdraw from the fight." But Retsu doesn't back down, so Motobe takes it one step further. "If you still want to fight Musashi, you'll have to get through me first." Then the scene shifts to Tokugawa standing alone in the underground arena. He quietly reflects on what's about to happen. Tomorrow night, this won't be a normal match. Usually, the arena is full of cheers and excitement. But this time, it will be silent, not because nothing is happening, but because everyone understands this is a life and death battle. Then suddenly, Tokugawa imagines something terrifying, the entire arena covered in blood. This isn't just a fight anymore, it's a forbidden match, something far beyond sport. Back at the dojo, Retsu confronts Motobe. Retsu understands clearly what Motobe meant. If he wants to fight Musashi, he must defeat Motobe first. Motobe confirms it without hesitation. Retsu wastes no time, he launches a fast punch. But Motobe reacts calmly. He catches it using his jaw and shoulder, redirects the force, twists Retsu's arm. Retsu lands safely and checks himself. He's not injured, but he realizes something. If Motobe had been just a little faster, his arm could have been broken instantly. Motobe explains seriously, Retsu is a master, so he can't hold back at all. Because even a small mistake could cost him everything. Exchange of techniques, Retsu attacks again. Motobe catches and tries to twist his arm again, but this time Retsu counters perfectly. He lands a clean kick to Motobe's face, knocking him down. Watching all this, Katsumi is shocked. He already knew Retsu was strong, but now he realizes something new. Motobe is also on that same high level, maybe even more dangerous than he looks. Motobe stands back up calmly and admits something important. Retsu might actually be stronger than him. But strength alone doesn't matter here, because the opponent waiting ahead is Miyamoto Musashi, and that's a completely different level. Motobe then takes a stance as if he's holding a weapon, showing that this isn't just martial arts anymore, this is real combat. But suddenly, everything stops. Out of nowhere, Kaku knocks Motobe unconscious from behind. He's furious. To him, this is stupidity. Fighting seriously the night before such a dangerous match is reckless. If Retsu got injured now, it would ruin everything. More importantly, facing someone like Musashi while injured would be disrespectful and possibly fatal. Kaku makes it clear this is not the time for ego or proving points. This fight tomorrow is on another level. He orders Retsu to stop and rest. The scene now shifts to the night everyone has been waiting for. Deep beneath the Tokyo Dome, the underground arena is completely filled. But this time the atmosphere feels different. There's no excitement, no loud cheering like usual. Instead, there's a heavy, almost suffocating tension in the air. Everyone knows they are about to witness something abnormal. For the first time, the rules have been completely broken. This isn't a normal underground match anymore. Brutal techniques like groin attacks, eye gouging, and even biting, everything is allowed. And more importantly, weapons are permitted. That alone is enough to make this fight different from anything before. But strangely, that's still not enough for some people in the crowd. There are spectators who want to see even more, something darker, something beyond martial arts. At that moment, every single person in the arena is faced with the same question. What are they really here to watch? A match fought with skill and discipline, or a true battle where one man might not walk out alive? Because with fighters like Musashi and Retsu about to clash, this isn't just martial arts anymore. This is a potential bloodbath. And that's where episode 7 ends. If you enjoyed this episode and want more, hit 7 likes on this video and I'll bring the next one soon. Thanks for watching.